What is a true story from your life that sounds made up? I have a weird one. Many years ago, when I was in high school, I had a project to interview a real working scientist. Fortunately, my dad worked at our local university and knew a scientist working in a radiation lab. So I set out to interview him. The lab itself was very hard to find. It was in the basement of a building, down in behind the janitorial area, very dark, creepy, and isolated. Finally I find it. The scientist, an elderly man, this was in the early 1980s, was very willing to talk. In fact, he seemed quite lonely. After working through all my interview questions, he got to talking about his life generally, and gradually it turned to his experiences as a young sailor on board an escort vessel in the North Atlantic during the Battle of the Atlantic in World War II. What I didn't know was that the fellow was about to expose some deep trauma that had been with him his whole life since then. As he talked, he got more emotional about the stress he was under, the endless storms, the ever-present threat of torpedoes, the lonely watches staring at nothing. Finally, he reached the climax of his story. According to him, on one of those endless night watches, he was visited by a friend of his on the